All right. Hello, everyone. So I'm just going to go over some key points of the 2020 AP testing guide. This does not mean you shouldn't still read it. You should definitely still open this up in the attached PDF. In capital letters, it says must read by it. So make sure you open it up and read through this on your own. I'm just going to go over some of the key points. I've listed some resources for you. If you want more resources, go to this website right here, cb.org/AP2020. All right, 4 parts to this guide about your AP exam e-ticket, 5 steps you need to take before exam day, what will exam day look like, and more about scores, credit, and placement. All right, so about your AP exam e-ticket, you need this e-ticket to test. It has your 8-digit AP ID on it. You will get this ticket 2 days before each test that you have. This includes even tests that aren't AP Calc AB. And you'll get a unique ticket for each exam. So you need to make sure that you keep all of those organized and keep them safe. Not only will you get them an email, but you will be able to check them out on your My AP account at this website right here, myap.collegeboard.org. So this e-ticket that you get is valid for the May exam schedule. So Calc AB right here, Tuesday, May 12th, and it's Central Time at 1 p.m. So your ticket will be valid for that test that you get for AB. If you're taking any of these other tests, you will get separate tickets for those. We do offer a June makeup date for AB. It is Monday, June 1st at 3 p.m. You will get a separate e-ticket for that. You'll have to request that makeup date. We'll go over later what constitutes needing to use a makeup date. Make sure that you read through all of these things, these pages here that I'm kind of skipping over, what to expect on this year's exams, how the exam questions are viewed. We'll go over that in more detail too as we go on. So you do have multiple options for submitting answers. Copy and paste a typed response and then click submit. Attach a document and then click submit. Or attach photos of handwritten responses and then click submit. Now with all of these, the type of browser you're going to want to have is Chrome, Firefox, Safari, or Edge. Okay. And then the different types of documents you can submit would be Google Docs, Microsoft Word, Notes, or some similar application. You can also upload any of these file extensions, .doc, .docx, PDF, text, or ODT. And then whether you're typing, handwriting, whatever, you need to make sure that that 8-digit AP ID is at the top of each of your papers. And we'll tell you how to get that prepared here later on in this presentation. There's a separate section on music theory and world language exams, so make sure you read through those if you're taking any of those. If you're testing with accommodations, make sure you find this page and read through this. Requesting a makeup exam. So some of you may be wondering about this, and this is important information to have. If you have any issue on exam day that prevents you from testing successfully, you will be directed to an online AP makeup testing request form. That would be accessed at this website right here, cb.org/request-makeup. You do need to have your original e-ticket when you're filling out this form, and it must be submitted within 48 hours of your original exam date. So this would have to be submitted by May 14th for the Calc AB exam. And then they just give you some timeline information here. So make sure you read through this. If you end up stumbling upon something that stops you from testing. All right, so 5 steps to take before exam day. So these are the types of things that you're going to want to start doing now. So even while we're going through this presentation, you might want to start getting this stuff ready. So you might want to pause and restart as we go through, or come back to this page as you're reading through the guide. So first, I've already told you about this, but review your contact information. If you aren't receiving emails from the AP program, log in to your MyAP account and check the email that you used when you registered for the test. If you, for some reason, cannot find that or are having trouble getting into MyAP, let me know. I can check and see what email you used. But do your best to try and figure it out first on your own. Check your tech. So choose and prepare the device and documents you'll use. So if you want to handwrite your responses for the Calc AB, make sure you get out paper and then put your initials and 8-digit ID at the top of those. Practice submitting your responses. This is key right here. Step 3, practice submitting your response. We've done some practice with our FRQ practice exams, but this demo available on Monday, May 4th, write this down. You're going to want to do this. So the demo on Monday, May 4th will actually, show you the different ways that you can submit your work, and it will be like the test on May 12th. Gather what you need for each exam. Go to this website right here, cb.org/AP-exam-day-docs. And then I think they can do it by subject to gather materials that we may need for our specific exams. And then step 5, receive your exam confirmation e-ticket email. So once you've checked your contact information, you should get that e-ticket information, and you can also use your AP account to check that. So this is very important. If you print anything out here to make sure you have, this would be what you want for before exam day. And then you can read through in more details, checking your tech out, choosing your device. This is very important. Check that you have the appropriate device and how you're planning to create your responses. So you do want to do some thinking about this beforehand. Are you going to want to type your math responses? If you want to type your math responses, you will see shortcuts for how to type symbols and formula at this AP Exam Day Docs website, the cb.org. Or if you're going to handwrite your responses, make sure you have a device that's appropriate for taking a picture and uploading it. And it's going to be easy and quick for you to do, so you don't have to click through a bunch of files to do that. Here's an important step: preparing your documents for typing. You're going to want to use Google Docs, Microsoft Word Notes, or another application that lets you type. Turn on any autosave feature you can in case your computer crashes. At least then it will recover what you've done until that last autosave. If you are using Google Docs, make sure you know how to download it as any of these 4 extensions. And what you're going to want to do if you're going to type, prepare your docs by typing your AP ID and initials at the top and saving it in a clearly labeled folder. So for AP Calc, for example, we are only going to have 2 questions. So you'd want to do, for example, save one file that you're going to type in as AP Calc AB question 1, AP Calc AB question 2. And if you have those ready and easy to access on the day of your exam, then you're good to go. If you are going to prepare documents for handwriting, make sure you are using white paper. It can be lined or unlined. As close to standard size as possible. I see some of you uploading your responses with Post-its or smaller pieces of paper. I would suggest get a regular sheet of lined or computer paper to write your responses on, so you have as much room as possible. You need to have a pencil or a pen with blue or black ink. I recommend pencil so you can erase for math. The maximum number of pages you can attach per question is 5. So at most you'll need 5 pages per question, but most of the time you'll probably just need 1 or 2. Just make sure you have enough paper with you to be able to write all of your responses. And here we are again. Use the 2020 AP demo exam to practice and test your tech. This is very important. You need to make sure you do this on Monday, May 4th. To get there, you can access that by going to the cb.org/AP demo. So write that down, right? Monday, May 4th, cb.org AP demo, so that you can practice your exams. Here's a list of some things you need on exam day. This is also going to be on your checklist, so make sure you read through this. So basically what you're looking for here is, this is all exams except for those with portfolio components. So AP Calc AD, these are the things that you will want. And then if you scroll down, you can see test-specific things that you need. So Calc A, B, and BC, keyboarding tip sheet if you're going to type your responses, and you will be able to use your calculator. And then here's just more tests and what you might need. So read through those, especially if you're taking other tests as well. All right, so here's some important advice about optional resources. You can use any class notes or study guides, textbooks or other classroom resources, previous assignments or assessments. So anything that we've done, even from AP Classroom, make sure you keep all of that work that you've done with what the questions were so you kind of know what you're doing. Calculators you can use for AP Calc AB. If you are sharing study notes among each other, that's okay. You just need to make sure that these are downloaded or sent before the exam, because they are going to have software that is kind of on included in your exam that will be checking these things to make sure that there's no plagiarism or cheating going on. They have some great tech. So make sure you don't waste your time. Make sure you don't waste your time searching the web. Just use the tools and the resources that we as teachers have given you. Okay, copying from websites or social media is considered plagiarism and it will be detected. There's no question about that. They will be able to detect it. If you want some tips for taking an open book exam, here at this website, cb.org/AP open book tips will be a good place to look. All right, make sure you look for that exam confirmation. That will come on May 4th, which is also a good reminder to do the demo. And then 2 days before each exam, you will get your personalized e-ticket, so keep those safe. And then I will be giving you the AP exam checklist. If you just want to go straight to it right now, cb.org/AP checklist. It is available there. All right, here's what's to expect on exam day. You're going to want to check in 30 minutes before our start time. So we are 1 p.m. on Tuesday, May 12th. You are going to want to check in at 12:30 p.m. using your e-ticket. You want to complete any preliminary information, and then you can just wait for the exam to begin. Oh, and we're a 2-question exam, so we're going to be looking at this column over here. Then here's the timing. Question 1 will appear, and you'll have 25 minutes to read the question and develop a response. There will be a timer on the screen. If you want to start your own timer, you certainly can. Then you will have 5 minutes to submit your response and then wait for question 2. So what you're going to want to make sure you do is don't refresh your browser, don't hit your back button, just wait and it will pop up when your time is up. Then question 2 appears. You have 15 minutes to read the question, develop a response, 5 minutes to submit the response, and then your exam will be completed. Don't exit out of your exam until you get that confirmation that the exam is done and they've received your documents. And then they have music theory and world languages. Make sure that you are removing distractions. Put your phone in airplane mode. Well, do not disturb mode. I guess airplane mode, you won't be able to access internet. Put it in do not disturb. Let anybody in your house or friends know that you'll be testing so that you don't get any messages that disturb you. Make sure you have your device plugged in and charged. If you have limited bandwidth, ask others on your network to limit their use of internet during your exam. So make sure your siblings aren't watching Netflix or playing online games during that time. And then also have your checklist and any required documents next to you. Just some information on exam security. Okay, so make sure you read through this. Like I've said, like I've touched on, they have plagiarism detection software. They might put things online that could purposely steer you in the wrong direction. So really, internet searches aren't going to help you a ton on those days. AP, College Board has thought of everything. So like I've mentioned, check into your exam 30 minutes before your start time. So 12:30 for AP Calc AB. Here's some more detail on answering the exam questions. So you're going to want to read through these details. So managing your time, they do have a clock that counts down. Once it gets to that 5-minute mark, that's when you're going to want to start submitting your answers and solutions. All right, so submitting your response is a 2-step process, and on May 4th, you will be able to practice this. You're going to attach or paste your response, depending on if it's, you're attaching a file, a photo, or typing something in and pasting it in. And then you have to click submit. So don't forget that part. An important thing to remember, if you never see that your AP exam is complete, you don't get that message, you can request a makeup, explain the situation, what happened, and then that should request an e-ticket for you for that June makeup date. All right, so here is some we're anticipating, things that could go wrong. So like I've said, if you accidentally close the browser or your device crashes or you temporarily lose internet access, you can quickly click your exam e-ticket to return to the exam again. So do that as quickly as possible. Continue the exam. However, if you feel at the end of the exam that disruption negatively impacted your performance, you can request a makeup at the website. And then just a tip, like I've said, don't refresh your browser or hit the back arrow while you're doing this. All right, exam scores, credit, and placement. So colleges are accepting exam scores still. Scores will be reported on the usual 1 to 5 scale. The AP scores will be available to you 1 week later than usual, so beginning July 15th. And then remember to use your free score send, so get logged in before June 20th to indicate that. And here are some things that colleges are saying. They are still keeping, most of them, their current policies in place. So you can read through these if any of your colleges or universities are on here. They are still awarding credit. All right, and then lastly here, check your tech. So browsers, this is an important piece of information. If you cannot access the exam demo on May 4th, you won't be able to take the real test. So here are some steps you can take if that becomes an issue. It will only work in the latest versions of Chrome, Firefox, Safari, or Edge. And they say Chrome is preferred. It seems to work the best there, they found. If you use Internet Explorer, it absolutely will not work in that. So download one of these other free browsers before the test date if all you have is Internet Explorer. If you need to install one, just do a Google search of get the latest blank browser, okay? And make sure that the one that you're going to use is your default browser. So send an email to yourself, click the link, or send the email to yourself with a link, click the link and see which browser opens. If it's Internet Explorer, you have to change it. If you need to change it and you don't know how, you can just Google how to set a default browser for, and then put in what device you're using. Make sure you disable any browser plugins or extensions. If you need to figure out how to disable those, make sure you do a Google search on how to disable those. Okay, so that's going to be very important. So this pretty much goes over some of the key points. Now, if you notice, I didn't go through all of it, so you're going to want to make sure and read details on some of these pages, but this should be a pretty good overview on what to expect.